Alright, so this is my voice. This is the first video that you've heard my voice besides when I filmed my friend Eric playing his second game of PUBG. So in this video, we're taking a look at Elite Dangerous. Besides
disengage from landing pad, you are go for departure.
Pretty much play exclusively. So it starts off, I haven't played the game in a while, but the play game that I thought of, which is GalCop, Colonial Defense Force. There's a few systems that we controlled for a few months to a year, and they needed some attention because we had been losing influence in that region. So first I want to get my fighting craft. I'm not too good in the large ships, so I was going to get my vulture, and I had to, well, my first thought was, okay, I have to go get my vulture, and I'll do some police work in Agumar, which is one of our stations. The station I'm actually heading to, called the Whirling Station. We actually built it. There was a community event around late winter, spring maybe of 2018, and a huge city looking around. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing because that's a little bit weird for a person to talk to themselves for 40 minutes, which this video might be, so it will be my longest video to date. So not much of that. So I do have a passenger, I believe, in this one.
Frameshift drive charging.
She happens to be going to the station that I need to go. So what happened is that I got to Agumar and we don't have a ship, so I couldn't transfer my ship over. That is actually what happened. So the station that you saw me leave from, that is the Whirling Station. I picked up a passenger, which is a feature that they added 2 years ago. And she wanted to go to Teresa, I believe. They had said that she's a very forceful person, so she may come up with new places to go to instead of where she wanted to go. So she signed up to be transferred to Guile Station, and these people usually will come up with something that they want to do. So I was convinced that once I get there, she would want to go somewhere else, and I would just ignore it. At Agumar, we see him again. There was a human playing. When I'm not exploring in my exploration vessel or doing a community goal, I usually play an open play. So, yeah. So here we go to Guile Station, and I'll meet you guys over at Guile Station. I just wanted to come back in and talk about this. If you have not played this game, you could buy a docking computer that docks for you. I never had a problem with docking. This is a rather large ship. I think it's a medium port it takes, and yeah, I never had a problem. The station we're going to is not a Coriolis station. Coriolis station is the whirling station is that if it does not have spokes, you usually have to come at it from the planet side, or else you'll have a hard time finding the opening, or the mail slot as it's called in this game. In this one, I think it's an orbital station they call it. It'll pop up in the bottom left when we get there, but yeah, these ones, it's pretty easy to tell where the opening of the docking part of the station is. So here we come up to the planet, and the station is, of course, orbiting the planet. Yeah, there we go.
Tango Yankee Charlie, please check your speed on approach to this facility. Request approved. Clear to land at docking bay 26.
Yeah, if you noticed there was a cool feature they added last year around this time, maybe 2 years ago this time, that at the bigger stations, the people at the control deck, I guess, they call out your call sign. So they go with the maker of the ship and the first 3 letters of your gamer tag. So it's a cool little feature. This game has many little features that I actually really enjoy. And here I am coming for a landing, and then we'll skip over to where I send my Vulture over to GCDC.
Okay, Commander, you're all clear.
Landing gear deployed.
This is not one of my smoothest of landings, but it'll do. So, here we go.
Checklist. Station services are at your disposal.
Incoming mission critical message.
I'm not hurting for money in this game, so I chose the little reputation boost and a few credits. This is where I was convinced that the passenger would have come up some other place to take her, but luckily it wasn't that, and I was able to ignore this one. For people that are new to this game, the galaxy is a 1-to-1 ratio of our own Milky Way galaxy. The developers Frontier had worked with NASA and other space agencies to ensure maybe they get the proportions of the star types right.
Disengage from landing pad. Maintain correct lane on exit.
This is the third or fourth
Landing gear
in
retracted.
this series. First one was on the Vectron computer. The second one was more had much wider appeal. Had good graphics at its time in the 90s.
Friendship charge detected.
This one was the biggest hit in the series I believe so far. So this is the 2014, I believe it came to open beta on the PC. And then the Xbox got it in 2015 in its game preview system. And yeah. I'm not going to talk about the background and all the details of the game. I'm just giving you guys a heads up of what this game is all about if you are new to it. And I'll try to link in the description on the YouTube video how you can maybe contact us. So here I am flying back to Akamar, because that's what I had wanted to do. I probably will be making more videos of doing some police work, but what I mainly do in this game is explore, so we could get some exploration videos in the future. So I'll leave you to it now. I just honked the system, as they call it. Not much to see there. I probably pull up the map, but I usually do. And then you'll see all this. A game like this and a game like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, you need the
Frameshift drive charging.
PUBG, you need it so you don't get killed, and you could kill other people. In this one, if you are exploring, well, if you are not exploring,
4, 3, 2.
it helps out with the immersion. There you go. Let's wait for the countdown so you couldn't hear me. It helps with the immersion. So you heard before the people at the tower, the traffic tower, all the little sounds. But if you are exploring, and not many people know about it, I guess. Each planet type has different little sounds. So if you have a headset, it makes it so much easier to
Frameshift drive charging.
to hear that water planet, or hear that gas giant with water or ammonia life inside of its atmosphere. Alright, I'm gonna leave you back to the game. I just want to make sure that you hear my voice over that countdown. Alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, so we have arrived at Akamar, the system of Akamar. The Whirling Station is where I had hoped originally to send my ship, so then we could have skipped that whole transfer of the tourist. Yeah, this is the station. You'll see this is the Coriolis station. They have these little signal sources that either people have left because they're being attacked, or, and it's pretty cool, the NPC pirates will put those out, so trying to have people drop in and then they'll attack them for their goods. In this game, like I said, you could do what we're doing here, some police work, bounty hunting. You could be an explorer, like I usually do, or you could be a pirate. And then you could bring NPC or player ships in, and then try to rob them of their goods. There are so many things to do in this game, and all the little details are there to do it. And as the years go by, they add more and more things to make whatever you want to do in this game easier and more immersive. So here we go, come up to the station. You need to be 2 megameters, I'm sorry, one megameter in, and you can drop out. See, this station has the spokes, so it's a little easier to see. I believe I first come across that they can be top rotation marks.
Please check your speed on
the station is, and I realize it's not. And the spokes tell me out there, because now the spokes tell me that it's on the bottom.
Access granted. Please head directly for
So
bay
once I realize
28.
that, I fly to the bottom. Oh, the shadows there. It's only so far right now. The game has a problem with shadows if there are 2 stars, or if a much less massive star is in the planetary orbits of another star. It doesn't render the shadows correctly for that star, that secondary star. So here we are coming to port. This may be the last time you hear my voice in this video, because to change the mood up or end to see for posterity
Heading is
reasons,
A-OK, Commander. You're all clear.
I put the week's news audio files in, so you'll listen to that instead of hearing my voice. So like I said, this is like a little pilot version and testing out the audio options that I could do. Okay, so you'll start hearing the audio stuff from now on. I don't know to what extent for each video.
Docking complete.
Yeah, I'm just doing
Riker
this as a hobby.
dispatched. You are most welcome, Commander.
I'm a teacher, so in the summertime I got a lot of time on my hands, and all that. So there you go. Alright, pretty soon you'll see me turn the news of the week on. I hope you enjoyed the video, and enjoy the rest. Here you go.
Lakon releases Alliance Crusader. Lakon Spaceways has announced that a new ship, the Alliance Crusader, will soon be available for purchase. Mira Kalanag, head of military projects at Lakon, gave some details to the media. The Alliance Crusader is mechanically similar to the Alliance.
Disengage from landing pad. Moderate speed on exit.
With one key distinction. Our engineers have removed some internal hardware to accommodate a fighter bay. Inevitably, this means the Crusader is marginally slower and less maneuverable than its siblings, but this is compensated by its ability to ferry fighters into a conflict zone. The Crusader's offensive capabilities are enhanced with 3 internal military compartments. We are confident that the ship will be able to hold its own in any combat situation, especially against the Argoids. The Alliance Crusader will go on general sale on Tuesday the 28th of August. Computer firms promote new designs. Rival
Frameshift drive charging.
technology companies Supertech and Herculean
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
machines have released press statements promoting new personal computer designs. Scorpio Devarro, CEO of Supertech, told the media about his company's forthcoming product. The talk employs cutting-edge holographic technology, surrounding you in a personalized world. Its hollow interfaces respond to subtle gestures, and its flexible crystalline structure makes it as elegant as jewelry. By comparison, competitors' devices are as rudimentary as pen and paper. Maddox Hurd, owner of Herculean Machines, also made a statement. Fancy holograms might look pretty, but what matters is being able to withstand whatever life throws at you. The Jura Drive is designed for those who work hard and expect their tools to stand up to the challenge. However tough you think you are, the Jura Drive is tougher. Both companies have confirmed that they will be at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on Wednesday the 3rd of October. The technology trade show, sponsored by Rackham Capital Investments, focuses on the personal device market. Both companies aim to have fully functional prototypes ready for the expo. Order restored in Kamichi. Kamichi Incorporated has announced that its campaign to clear the Kamichi system of felons has been a success. Hundreds of pilots responded to the appeal, taking to their ships to eliminate the criminals operating in the system. Authorities in Kamichi have extended their gratitude to those who participated in the operation. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from game and port in the Kamichi system. The Battle for Betel. Recent reports from the Betel system indicate that an ongoing feud between the Silver Creative Network and the Betel 3 has escalated into violence. General Hollis of Betel Security issued the following statement. After a lengthy period of peace, these factions are now determined to wipe one another out. As much as we want to subdue this conflict ourselves, we simply do not have the ships to stage an effective intervention. With system security forces stretched thin, both organizations are seizing the opportunity to settle old grudge, and have issued calls for support. Pilots who participate in the conflict will be generously rewarded by their chosen faction. The two factions have set out week-long operations to take control of the system, which will begin on the 23rd August 3304. Colonia Hydroponics Initiative concludes. The Colonia Council has announced that its campaign to build a new hydroponics facility has been warmly received by the galactic community. Large quantities of material were delivered to Templar Barracks over the past week, allowing the initiative to move to the construction phase. The Council's scientific advisor, Professor Diana Van Cleef, gave the following statement. Not only will this new hydroponics facility provide biofoods and super grains for the populace of Colonia, it will also contain a dedicated research laboratory for a science team to develop new biotech crops. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Templar Barracks in the Randnid system. Congressman's criminal ties exposed. An exclusive exposé published by the Mars Tribune has revealed that a member of federal Congress has close ties to a criminal organization. The extensive feature began with this summary. Congressman Morgan Unwin has been in debt to the notorious Red Family Cartel for nearly a decade. Information uncovered by our reporters proves that he has unwon his influence to traffic enormous
Scan detected.
quantities of the cartel's drugs in order to keep his own addiction secret. Following publication
Scan detected.
of the feature, Mr. Unwin was arrested by the Federal Security Service, and now faces expulsion from Congress. An investigation into Red Family's narcotics operation in Olympus Village is also underway. A spokesperson for Congress made this statement. We are indebted to the Mars Tribune for uncovering a criminal conspiracy that might otherwise have continued undetected. This highlights the value of investigative journalism to the Federation. The Tribune's billionaire owner, Kingsley Cordova, has been invited to a special event by Congress to express its gratitude. As well as the Mars Tribune, his conglomerate Cordova Group runs many small companies in the Sol system. Far God cultists vanishing. The Federal Intelligence Agency has revealed that members of the Far God cult are disappearing in large numbers. Senior Agent Micah Whitefield told the media. On several occasions, our agents have entered hive chapels only to discover them completely empty. Intelligence from independent systems describes how entire chapters of the sect have disappeared overnight. We suspect that adherents are starting to abandon the cult and attempting to return to normal life. We urge everyone to report such individuals to the FIA, so we can investigate potential connection to the Thargoids. Dr. Jamila Griffin, of the Galactic Interfaith Commune commented. Although it would be an understandable reaction to the FIA's relentless persecution, there are no reports of former Far God worshippers returning to their friends and families. These abrupt disappearances remain a mystery. Anti-cult campaigner Juanita Bishop also made a statement. It's obvious to me that these spies are returning to their Thargoid masters, to inform them of what they've learned. Arresting them isn't enough. We need a more permanent solution for these traitors. Aisling Duval wedding cancelled. Federal news channels have announced that the wedding of Princess Aisling Duval and Ambassador Jordan Rochester has been cancelled. The statement came from Congress member Isolde Rochester. The planned wedding between my son Jordan Rochester and Her Imperial Highness will no longer take place. We have contacted everyone involved with the event and closed down all related projects. The announcement follows anti-slavery campaigner Jarl Torrido's confession that he and Aisling Duval were romantically involved for several months. Torrido also claimed that the planned marriage was purely a political matter. The cancellation was confirmed by the Imperial Palace on Emerald, but there has been no direct response from Princess Duval or Ambassador Rochester. Political journalist Cassia Carvalho of the Imperial Herald commented, "The fact that this news comes from Isolde Rochester gives weight to Jarl Torrido's claims. If the marriage was a political scheme, that may explain why the Rochester family matriarch is the one to call it off, no longer trusting Princess Duval to play her part. Or perhaps this is simply the reaction of a mother, enraged at her future daughter-in-law's infidelity. Had the marriage taken place, would it have initiated an era of federal imperial cooperation, or triggered a new wave of conflict? It seems we will never know." Status update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Xi'an Port, Garaki Aku, Surrey Gateway, Vesuvit, Scott Station, HIP 93685, Salgari Enterprise, Mawa, Wakata Port, Wanjara, Bruce Enterprise, Kabigu, Cubasov Station, HIP 90112, McDonald Platform, Hamlet's Harmony, Thirsk Enterprise, Wanted. The following starports continue to experience technical issues: Weber Dock, Mean. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure: Crown Plant, Mudra Makazi, Crown Terminal, LHS 355, Evans Platform, HIP 18305, Fort Lawrence, XEOC, Fox Base, Paya, Fraknoi Holdings, Paya, Gautier de Varennes Folly, HIP 13269, Grimwood Ring, HIP in 4863, Hague Port, OC, Hengdok, Samantundi, Harrington Gateway, 45 Turi, Lathe Station, Lathe, Lichtenberg Dock, 3 Corby, McLeod Hub, Nornan, McAllister Port, HR 6680, Miller Terminal, XEOC, Parmit Anno Terminal, New Turi, Porgus Horizons, G25034, Pre-Research Base, HIP 17225, Ross Orbital, Radomir, Seddon Gateway, Wanted, Tana Ring, Sokond, Wine Platform, Paya. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. Campaigner Jarl Torrido has disclosed that he and Princess Aisling Duval have been conducting a secret
Target destroyed.
romantic relationship, despite her betrothal to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester. Torido claims that the princess accepted Rochester's proposal only as a means to advance her political plans. Princess Duval has refuted Torido's statement. Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, a leading exotheologian and an authority on the Far God cult, has been apprehended as a suspected Thargoid
Scan detected.
sympathizer. The Federal Intelligence Agency said that Dr. Ulyanov's involvement with the Far God cult made him a valid person of interest. Meanwhile, the Federal Times has highlighted two new personal computer designs currently in development, the Torque from Supertech and the Duradrive from Herculean Machines. Both companies plan to reveal prototypes of their designs at a Technology Expo in October. A mining robot that went out of control in the Beta Hydri system has been located and disabled. Macarthur Mining
Target shields offline.
Limited, which manufactures the robot, said that an inspection of the robot's remains confirmed suspicions that it had been placed in the incorrect standby mode, verifying that the malfunction was the result of human error. In other news, billionaire Zachary Rackham has been confirmed as the winner of a lottery prize of 1 billion credits. Rackham was quick to announce that he would donate his winnings to charity, although the Federal Times pointed out that the win coincided with a bill for unpaid taxes recently submitted to Rackham's company. Finally, a spokesperson for Aegis Research has announced that its rescue operation in the Pleiades has been enthusiastically assisted by the
Target destroyed.
galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the operation by delivering stranded survivors and commodities to Donna.
Cargo scoop deployed.
And those are the main stories this week. Pleiades rescue operation concludes. A spokesperson for the Aegis Research has announced that its rescue operation in the Pleiades has been enthusiastically assisted by the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the operation by delivering stranded survivors and commodities to Don Arzok in the Pleiades Sector IRW D155 system. Superintendent Marla Paulson of Aegis Research released the following statement. The number of rescued survivors we have received is truly fantastic. We have also received enough food stocks to ensure that they're well taken care of, before moving them to dedicated refugee centers. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Don Arzok in the Pleiades Sector IRW D155 system. Ulyanov arrested. Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, a leading exotheologian and an authority on the Far God cult, has been apprehended as a suspected Thargoid sympathizer. The arrest took place at Dr. Ulyanov's home in the Rana system, where he and his family were taken into custody by the Federal Intelligence Agency. Research materials and computer systems were also removed from the property, up to witnesses. Professor Siobhan Vogel, of the Interstellar Association of Universities, registered a formal complaint. For Dr. Ulyanov's academic studies to be viewed as evidence that he is some kind of Thargoid agent is utterly ridiculous. This violation of his rights sets a dangerous precedent.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Federal Intelligence Agency Senior Agent Micah Whitefield gave the following statement. When it comes to possible Thargoid allies, we cannot afford to overlook anything. Dr. Ulyanov's involvement with the Far God cult makes him a valid person of interest. We are also investigating the Galactic Interfaith Commune, the Spiritual Freedom Movement and other organizations that have supported Thargoid worshippers. Juanita Bishop, whose campaign against the Far God sect has continued to attract popular support, commented. This proves that there are Thargoid collaborators among us, in all walks of life. We must root them out before they start murdering innocent people.
Scan detected.
Aisling Duval's secret relationship revealed. Anti-slave
Scan detected.
campaigner Jan Torido has disclosed that he and Princess Aisling Duval have been conducting a secret romantic relationship, despite her betrothal to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios gave full details on his program. Following Jan Torido's
Target shields offline.
resignation from Unchained, I offered to tell his side of the story. Although he declined a formal interview, he did disclose that he could no longer bear working alongside Princess Duval. He admitted that he has been romantically involved with the princess since their first meeting several months ago. It seems they both felt it wise to keep the relationship a secret. According to Torido, the princess claimed not to have any romantic feelings for Ambassador Rochester, and and insisted that the marriage was merely a means to advance her
Target shields online.
political plans. Initially Torido
Target destroyed.
accepted this, but it seems that after her engagement the princess became unreachable. Torido says that his and Ashling's love has been sidelined by her political schemes.
Frameshift drive charging.
Quite simply, he feels betrayed. Princess Aisling Duval gave this response to the media. I am shocked that my friend Solomon could believe such lies. It's obvious that Mr. Torido is being used by those who want to rekindle the hostility between the Empire and the Federation. My relationship with Jordan Rochester is entirely genuine. Colonia Hydroponics Initiative. Authorities in Colonia have decided to build a state-of-the-art hydroponics facility, due to research projecting a possible food shortage in the region. Professor Diana Van Cleef, a scientific advisor to the Colonia Council, gave the following statement. The growing populace of Colonia means we need to provide a reliable and sustainable source of food for the region. We aim to
4, 3, 2, 1.
address this by building a new hydroponics facility that will serve Colonia for generations to come. The campaign is being run by Colonia Research Division, one of Colonia's partner organizations, which has asked pilots to deliver the requested mined resources to Templar Barracks in the Randmid system. The campaign begins on the 16th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Restoring order in Kamichi. Authorities in the Kamichi system have reported a distressing rise in the number of criminals operating in the area. Reports indicate that these felons are attacking pilots traveling in the sim, disrupting trade and generally causing mayhem. To counter this threat, Kamichi Incorporated has placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver bounty vouchers to game at port. The campaign begins on 16th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Eagle Eye installations offline. Admiral Aidan Tanner has confirmed reports that Aegis's Eagle Eye installations are offline. The development is the result of Thargoid sensor-related interference at Danjak Enterprise, home of Aegis Core, which has neutralized Aegis's ability to transmit data to the orbital installations. The Eagle Eye installations play a vital role in countering Thargoid aggression by monitoring energy level fluctuations at Thargoid surface sites. The data allows pilots to determine which systems the Thargoids intend to attack. Admiral Tanner elaborated on the issue in a brief statement.
Core Dynamics Tango Yankee Charlie. Please check your speed on approach to this facility.
With Danjak Enterprise experiencing widespread technical issues, it's impossible for us to communicate with the Eagle Eye installations. And unless the installations are fed a continuous stream of data, they are essentially useless. The Eagle Eye installations are one of the most effective weapons we have in our war against the Thargoids, and we would be grateful to any pilots who could deliver meta-alloys to Danjak Enterprise, to help us get the starport back online. Billionaire wins lottery. Renowned billionaire Zachary Rackham, owner of Rackham Capital Investments, has been confirmed as the winner of a lottery prize of 1 billion credits. Tori Theopolis, a spokesperson for the Federal Grand Lottery, announced,